No, this is seriously like such a huge thing. Like, if you're an American woman who is a Muslim revert, you are a huge target for citizenship marriages, especially if you use dating apps like Muzz or Salams. Unfortunately, like 90% of the men on there are just looking for American women so that they can get citizenships. But the thing is once you realize this is what's happening, it becomes really easy to spot these men because they all use like the same exact lines. They're always here on a work visa or a student visa, and they're going to tell you right away, and you're going to think, oh, like they're just being open and honest. Like, no, it's because they're going to use this later to try and rush your marriage timeline to fit within the timeline of their visa. And they all have degrees from back home. Even if they're here on a student visa, their student visa is for their master's or their doctorate. And if they're working at the shawarma shop up at the street, like, they at least have their bachelor's degree. Like, that's how they were able to come here on a visa anyways. So they're always going to tell you, like, you know, once we get married and I get my green card, like, I can finish my education and get a super good job. We'll have so much money. You won't have to do anything. Or, like, I just need my green card so that I can get, like, a better job in my field. And then I can take care of everything. We're going to make so much money. I'm going to take care of you, blah, 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 blah. But when you actually get into talking about like how the finances are going to work, you're going to realize that they want to split everything 50-50. They want you to keep working or finish your degree so that you can get a good job, so that they don't have to pay for everything, because you're not their forever wife. You're just a get my foot in the door wife. So they don't want to use all the money that they're going to save up for their real wife on you. Another thing is they're not going to want to have kids with you, or they're at least going to try and convince you to wait at least 3 years before you start planning on having kids. Because after having a green card for 3 years, their like status changes. I'm pretty sure they even get an American passport after 3 years, and then they can just pack up and leave. No divorce, nothing. They're just going to dip out because it's so much harder to get deported after you've been on the green card for 3 years. So they're going to say anything and everything to convince you to wait to have kids or to not pursue having kids at all. And you're going to be like, oh, Nora, but like, what about anchor babies? No, they don't think like that, because they don't want to have kids with somebody they're not planning on being married to. They don't want to start a family with you because you're not their actual future wife. The more connections they have to you long term, the worse it's going to go for them with their plan to leave and get married to somebody else. So some of the things that you can ask to avoid these situations or see if you're in one of these situations is obviously, first, I want to have kids as soon as we get married. Is that okay with you? Or like, I don't really want to work. Like, I want to be a stay-at-home wife. Or if you have a kid like me, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. Is that okay with you? Can you support me so that I don't have to? Like, as a Muslim woman, I shouldn't have to support myself. You are obligated to do that. Can you do that? Also, if you're like me and you don't have like parents, but you're really close to your like Muslim community in your area, you can be like, hey, are you willing to come and meet the men at the Islamic Center? Like, are you willing to come and meet my friends' husbands and talk to them about the marriage? Because they're not going to want to talk to other men who have come here from other countries, because other men from other countries are going to be able to spot their BS really quickly and be like, hey, sister, don't marry this guy. He's literally only interested in you for your citizenship. So yeah, be safe out there, keep it halal, and pray for me.